Imagine you're dropping a one-sentence call to action at the end of an episode, but there's a catch. Your listeners are scattered across Apple, Spotify, Pocket Casts, and a dozen more players. Each platform wants its own bespoke link, and no single URL works seamlessly for everyone. Now that's where universal podcast URLs step in. A simple idea with outsized impact on discovery, accessibility, and audience growth.
This is Into the Podverse with Tony Doe. Podcast innovations, challenges, opportunities, and culture from an African perspective.
Before we continue, a quick word about something I'm building, the Nigerian Podcast Index, or NPI. It's a public, independent directory created to document Nigerian podcasts, not rank them, not review them, just to make them discoverable and preserved. Too many Nigerian podcasts disappear quietly. The NPI exists so our work doesn't disappear with them. One important thing is that your podcast needs an RSS feed. An RSS feed is what makes your podcast a podcast. It's the open pipeline that allows your show to appear across platforms. Without it, your content is locked inside one app and platforms change. With an RSS feed, you own your distribution. Your episodes can travel, be archived, and still be found years from now. If you host a podcast produced in Nigeria or by a Nigerian anywhere in the world, and you have a working RSS feed, I'd love for you to submit it. It's simple, free, and manually verified. Submit your podcast at bit.ly/submityourpodcastng. Now back to the episode. At its core, a universal podcast URL is a link that doesn't tie you to one specific app or ecosystem. Instead, it behaves like a smart gateway. It detects a listener's device or preference, then redirects them to the right app or landing page so they can play or subscribe instantly. Podfollow and Podlink are two well-known examples of this approach. Podfollow automatically sends iOS users to Apple Podcasts, Android users to Spotify or another chosen destination, and desktop visitors to your website by default. Podcasters can claim their show and customize their redirections. Podlink, on the other hand, generates a universal landing page where listeners can choose their preferred app, and after they select one, Podlink can remember their preference for future visits. These aren't just redirects, let's consider them opportunity multipliers. Podcasts are fundamentally distributed media. Unlike a blog post that lives at one URL, your show is broadcast and hosted in many places. Every individual player, Apple, Spotify, Overcast, so on, generates its own link structure, and none understands the other. Without a universal strategy, you end up with messy social posts. Multiple links in one post, and then you run out of characters to post with. Now, that causes a lot of friction. A universal URL collapses this into a single memorable link. Every extra click or step between hearing about your show and landing in a listener's chosen app increases the chance they'll drop off. Universal links eliminate the confusion. A podcast fan on a train can tap once and instantly land on the right app. Someone on a desktop can be shown clear buttons for every platform. A curious listener who didn't know how podcasts work yet gets an easy choice. By smoothing this first step, you increase the odds of subscription, playlisting, or share-worthy experiences. Platforms like X, Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn thrive on simple, tappable links. Universal URLs are easy to remember and track. They also import your podcast's artwork and metadata into social previews, so your shared posts look richer and more inviting to click. Now, this matters because discovery isn't just technical, it's social psychology as well. A compelling preview image plus single link lowers cognitive barriers. RSS is the original universal URL for podcasts. It contains all the metadata, artwork, episode list, descriptions, audio file, URLs, and so on. But RSS URLs don't solve the app redirection problem. Unlike web browsers handling HTTP links, most podcast apps don't automatically understand RSS URLs in the same way. Many don't open RSS links when tapped. Universal URLs act as a translator between the open RSS world and the closed app-focused ecosystem. The universal link doesn't just make sharing easier, it changes behavior. Listeners don't think in terms of catalog ecosystems. They think, can I play this now? Where do I tap? Is this safe or trusted? When one link answers all these questions immediately, the path from search to listen to subscribe becomes almost frictionless. Podlink goes further by remembering people's preferences, so the next time they tap a universal link, they're whisked directly into their chosen app or player. Universal URLs also offer indirect search advantages. They consolidate click data into a single destination. So platforms like Google and social networks can infer popularity signals. You control where the link points and how it's presented, which means you can optimize metadata tags for search engines and accessibility tools. Now, this is something that static platform-specific links don't provide. Platforms like Podfollow provide click analytics, showing where your audience comes from, mobile, desktop, which app, which geography. Now, those insights are gold for creators. They help you understand which platform your listeners prefer, how effective your promotional posts are, and where to invest your marketing effort. Without universal links, you're often blind to these subtleties because each platform holds its own data silo. Podcasting began as an open, decentralized medium built on RSS. But the growth of apps and ecosystems created an unintended paradox. Lots of audiences, but no easy way to point them to your content with one link. Universal podcast URLs don't just solve a technical problem. They shape audience behavior. They respect choice, reduce friction, and give creators a single source of truth for promotion. If you think in terms of cultivating discovery, not just distribution, universal URLs are now essential infrastructure. They honor the medium's roots while supporting its evolution into an even more accessible, discoverable art form.
That's it for this episode. Subscribe, share, and connect at Tony Doe Media. See you in the Podverse.